Now it said a relaxing experience solving puzzles, so I am already ready. Be charmed by the cute and colorful world of Shroomtopia. Relax in this wholesome, slow-paced puzzle game while exploring serene landscapes and solving diverse challenges. Manipulate the hexagonal soil and blend the colors. Only you can bring nature back to life. There is a demo available in the Steam store. I'm playing on PS5. So let's have a look. There we go. Aw. That looks like a title for an anime. Okay, let me see. Ooh, online. I wonder if you'll be able to play, if you'll be able to play maps other people have made. All right, let's check the settings. Music is good, actually. We'll boot the music up a little bit. I like that they have different controller layouts. So depending on what you're feeling and what you're used to, you can change that. And they're just 3 buttons, but depending on like where your fingers want to be on the controller, that's really nice. Okay. I like the cute little mushrooms just chilling. There's also something good about hexagons. Like, hexagons make for good puzzle games, because generally it's going to be like rotational and overlapping and fun. Ooh, there's trophies in game. Love that for us. Okay. All right. First world. I finally arrived in Shroomtopia. The notes I read were right after all. And I can understand what they were saying. Everything here is beautiful. It's been a while since an intense earthquake shook this world and all life fell asleep. I need to find out what happened. This is my first challenge. I need to stay alert. That lake. I know what it is. My colleagues say it's the nectar of life. It's coffee? Is it coffee? Is there coffee in that lake and or nebula? It's super important for keeping the fauna and flora balanced in Shroomtopia. Look, there's a Shroomtopium. This game is going to come for me with these names. Shroomtopians are part of the fauna in this land. Studies indicate there are various species of them out there. Before learning more about them, I need to make the river flow. I have an example showing me how to do this. Look. Okay, so we can just skip the tutorial. Press the confirm button on a highlighted hexagon. Ah, okay. Hey, Mur, welcome on in. Thank you for the resub. Oh, and that's how we erode soil. Is that good? Should we be doing that? Soil erosion's not... Should we? Is that... Okay. It seems that whenever the nectar touches the soil around it, it can erode. I have ecological questions. Those little mushrooms, they're the same as the ones drawn for me. Zelda-ish, thank you for the resub. Here it says it's called fertilizing soil. If the nectar of life touches this soil, everything around it will grow, propagate, flowers and mushrooms. I need to lead the nectar river to it. Oh, almost there. Look at this Shroomtopium. Such a sleepyhead. My goal is to wake them up. Why do I have to wake them up? They're so cute. They're fine. They're fine. They're fine. You keep snoozing. There's a lot going on for you, little mushroom. Okay. Just lead the little mushrooms to them, and with a touch of nectar, they come back to life again. So... Huh? Hey! Boop! Nice job! These are mycenos, or mycenos. They can be recognized by their impressive yellow hats. According to studies on their behavior, they are more energetic during the day. Fun fact. Once a year, the entire species shines brightly both day and night. It's dazzling, like Nashville fireworks. Okay. I believe we are on our own now. So we can make a move. Oh. Okay. We can use circle to undo a move. And we can use triangle, I think, to redo the entire thing. Yeah, okay. All right, so that's interesting because when I do the thing, it spills out. So maybe that. Oh, it just brings the lake down here. Okay. And then here. Also, I like because you can make it like symmetrical. This place is exactly like they said it would be. The different colors, I gotta jot all this down. New Shroomtopians are popping up. Their color resembles the hues of the life nectar. This is definitely connected. This means something. Okay, so we gotta bring the red nectar of life down here. Well, let's just do the direct route. And then here. All right. Look, a polypa. This species of Shroomtopian was the first to be named. A colleague became obsessed because its hat looks like an octopus, and it's a very cute species. It is, it's very cute. Polypa is a good name. It is a good name. This species moves around mysteriously, and it seems they communicate with each other like ants do. We joke that they are always too busy gossiping about life. Well, if you want to know where the hot goss is, talk to the polypa. Okay. So these first puzzles are fairly, easy. Okay, but now we got to bring you over here. Oh, interesting. So whenever you kind of change elevation, the nectar flows versus staying connected. Okay. Blue. And it looks like a little wizard. That's definitely a wizard hat mushroom. I don't know what that means. Like maybe the water shouldn't go over here? The nectar. Okay. Blue shrooms. Okay, so now it's pooled here. So let's continue growing the... Oop, hold up. There we go. Okay. But I've got to do this. No. What if I... Nope. Okay, so the elevation is definitely a thing here. There I can keep it contained. Oh, maybe it's just this one? Yes, okay. And then... So it seems like getting the nectar... Oh, I earned a trophy. Complete the first level with a blockage. Oh, okay. It seems like it's good if you can keep the nectar, like, bounded. It does run off, but okay. Meet the Dokis, our tiny witches. Aha! So tiny and so mysterious. Dokis are very curious beings. They even seem to possess magic. We often see them near totems. We're still trying to understand their connection to these objects. Their blue color always makes me a little sad. Why? Blue's awesome. Okay, here's another example of the damage the earthquake did in Shroomtopia. In these soils, the damage was so great that we can't even manipulate the river of nectar. I need to keep an eye out and dodge, but it's a good thing they put up signs. Okay, so these cannot be undone. So we gotta bring the nectar this way. Okay, and then what if I do this? No, this? Hold on. Okay, nope. So this seems to make sense to bring it to the, well, let's try here. Okay, that brings the nectar there, but that doesn't really help me because you can only make the nectar continue to flow down. So I'm going to reset the level. Start here again. Okay. It seems like we should do this. Oh, I'm silly. That's it. We actually just needed to push down one of the ones that already had mushrooms. But we also need to get the mushrooms flowing. Okay, so does that mean I should push this one down? There we go. Okay. All right. I'm just... When the earthquake hit Shroomtopia, a lot of the soil was damaged. Nothing grows in it anymore. The damage was such that the river of nectar can no longer flow through it. If the nectar doesn't flow, the mushrooms won't grow. There's your slogan. There's your slogan on the wall in the office place. If the nectar doesn't flow, the mushrooms won't grow. It's a little better than hang in there. Although hang in there with a tiny little mushroom hanging on would be great. At least I can still manipulate the soil. Okay, so I'm assuming that we can't... Oh, we can with those. Okay. So we need to get... So here's our little mushrooms here. So the point of every level is connect the nectar to the tiny mushrooms. Then manipulate... So we're really, instead of just focusing on moving the nectar, we're focusing on also manipulating the mushrooms, because growing the mushrooms means that we can affect them. Now let's do this. Can I... Oh. Okay, so doing that makes the nectar flow off completely, so that's a no. I can get the nectar to that, but I need... Nope. Okay. So I really kind of need to get a path. Okay, so I need to not, like, don't do this, because then the nectar will... Oh. Huh? No, because it'll flow off if I do this, right? Yeah, okay. Enjoy the work, like Puddleglum. Have a good day. Okay, so let's see here. We definitely want to try to keep it bound. problem is I can't touch that. If I do that, let me restart. Okay, I can affect that. So even the soil with the rocks in it isn't impassable. But if I do this, it'll flow off, right? Oh, okay, so it does that, but then it flows off. All right. So, okay, so let's first focus on getting the nectar to the little mushrooms, which we can't really zoom in or rotate here. Oh, whoops. I didn't mean to do that. Sorry. Beneath me, there is a tracker of you can move forward and backward between levels, and it shows you you're on level 7. And if you do the thumb pad, it'll let you have access to the levels. All right. So I need to get the nectar to those little mushrooms first so that they go poop. Not poop. Well, mushrooms don't hate poop, but they go pop and they start spreading. I can't mess with this one here, but I can flow the water or the nectar here. Now, if I remove this because it's a higher level, the nectar is going to flow down to this. So now I need to connect the nectar to mushrooms that have already started to grow, which would be like here. But that means that so they won't grow through the rocks. I can remove the rocks, but that's not going to help. So the question is, how do I get them like... Hey, Dre, welcome on in. What am I doing? What am I missing? Hey, Queen City Q, welcome on in. What am I missing? Because that feels like... I don't want the water to flow off. I don't... Oop, I thought... You were last playing Amanda the Adventurer, which... That game... I've never played them, but that game was... Whoo! That game was something else. Okay, that'll make the water flow off, so no. It's interesting because now I can actually continue... Like, I can continue pushing things around up here, but that's not what I need. What I need is for mushrooms to grow... Here? See, yeah, that's not it. Nor is that. What am I not grokking here? I can have the nectar all the way here, but I mean, it's connected, but there needs to be a mushroom next to it. What happened to casual and relaxing puzzles game? Where are my casual and relaxing puzzles? This is often why I don't play puzzle games. Okay. What if we try spreading the mushrooms to as many areas as possible? Okay. There we go. That was my bad. I needed to give more real estate for the mushrooms. There it is. Okay. It's always nice to see an ohm outside its home. They say that this species' home is deep in the mysterious forests to the west. Ohms are really different the way they shine and move. It reminds me of the electronic music festivals in my world. What? Are we doing Plur now? Okay. We will try one last one to see if I understand this or not, because I'd love to see how they get to the next level of difficulty. Oh, wait. Oh, I'm able... Ah, okay. Let's do this one because it's a new mushroom and we can actually skip around. And what happens if I... Yeah. Okay, so apparently I've got to do all of these to unlock the next one. All right, but I can skip around. So let's go and find a new type of mushroom. Ooh, that one's got little thorns on it. Interesting. Okay, so... I think the secret will be to try... Okay, now that's interesting. That gives me a lot to work with. But I can't touch the mushrooms anymore, so let me reset that. Let's just get it straight to the mushroom. Okay. This is the interesting part. We can get the mushrooms to grow in the areas that we can't touch, but we can encourage them to grow there, but we can't actually touch them ourselves. So if I do that, I got mushrooms. So the question is, how am I going to get them to flow around? Okay, so no, that's not it. I like that you can go back one step at a time. That is very helpful. I need mushrooms to grow. There. Dang it. Okay. Same issue. All right. What if I do this one? Okay. Let me think about the strategy I had before, or the strategy I accidentally stumbled onto before, which was building them, putting mushrooms in more places. Like seeing if I can spread the mushroom love, if you will. Okay. Because we can bring the mushrooms around, but unfortunately we've only spread them into one spot, so that's not going to work. Okay, no. We need to bring them directly. Okay. Now. Nope. Okay, in this case, let's do this. Okay, that's a little better because now we have mushrooms here. Let's try to spread them there. Okay. How about there? That's one. What about here? No. Okay, that's not going to work. Although now we, interestingly enough, have pools in places that won't run off. No. Okay, there's another one. Oh, we're close. I think. I don't think I can make any... If I do that... Okay, that doesn't help. No. Yeah, being able to go back one move at a time is really nice. But I think... See, if I do that... I still gotta move. I still have a move available to me, that is. Unfortunately, this doesn't seem to be... I mean, that helped, but this doesn't seem to be helping me get... I need mushroom to spread there, so... How do... Hey, Slivers, welcome on in. There's definitely, my brain is not locking on to, there's definitely something about the way contact, like, there's a pattern to the mushroom spreading that I'm not getting. Like, okay. Okay, like that. Okay, so unlocking that makes the nectar flow here, and then everything touching it gets a mushroom because there are other blocks on the same level as it. So like these went there. So I almost need to have a block at the same level as either of these signs. Like here, but then I can only affect that one, so that's not going to work. So if I do that, these become fertile, but I don't have anything to spread mushrooms onto them. So I can do this and this and this to my heart's content. but no mushrooms will spread. So it feels like this needs to be... I need to be able to push that one down. So am I coming back? I have a lot more options now, but then none of these are helping. Okay, so these are actually too high to push down. I do like the sounds of the flowing and the action is very nice, but I am confused. Okay, so no. See, it feels like I can't touch that. That's not going to work. I really need to be able to affect these up here. What if I move this one down, this one down, no. Say I need that one actually down there. No. So I need that one at that level. The thing is, once I push it, I don't have access to these anymore. No. All right. So yeah, having those doesn't really help because they're too, like, the level of the water is a factor. Because yeah, if you move the nectar down here, then you can no longer affect these two. You can only affect the one that's right next to it. So the question is, do I have to kind of do this? No, because all the nectar has flowed down here, so now I can only affect these blocks. Okay, that's spreading the way I like, but I can't get that to spread over here. Oh, hey, Slivers. Yeah, you came in. Oh, sorry. Yeah, you're coming in like 9 levels into the game. So Shroomtopia is it is a casual, relaxing puzzle game for a level that I have been stuck on for probably far too long, where the point of it is to bring this pool of nectar first to these little cute mushrooms here. Then these mushrooms will sort of spread their way around the map. Okay, I'm doing it very badly. They'll spread their way around the map, and what you want to do is you want to be able to bring nectar that touches these little orange mushrooms to the big orange mushroom. It's just, you cannot, certain certain blocks you can't do anything about. So really all you can do is push the soil down one level lower as long as the nectar is touching it. So I can affect all of these. So I can push this down and the nectar flows down as liquids are wont to do. And I can encourage mushrooms to grow on nearby elements that I can't touch, but I can't do that directly. And my brain is getting stuck right now on, well, my brain's getting stuck on, well, now what? Okay, so the nectar's here, so all of these are starting to grow around. That gets the mushroom to grow here. The other problem is once nectar has flowed down to a certain level, you can no longer affect anything else that isn't at that level. So right now, because the nectar is like that, just a half a block below all of these, I can push all these down. The minute I allow the nectar to flow outside of this, it won't be a continuous stream. It really flows down to here. So I can do that. Oh. I'm not even going to pretend that I understood exactly how I arrived at that solution, but apparently explaining what I couldn't do was enough to get me there. But it also showed that I had been tackling that completely wrong since the beginning of the level. So yay. Hey, that's a colorin. My colleague named this species because its spikes reminded him of his teenage years. Rock, a lot of chaos, and a bit of rebellion to spice life up. So this is our punk mushroom. And the funniest thing is that the sound of these Shroomtopians reminds me of a guitar solo. Okay, so this is level 8, which is nice, but I want to look at level 10. Because now we have two types of nectar, but one type of mushroom. So it seems that the nectar in front of you is not always the color you need. I realized with my colleagues that it's possible to mix colors. Each mix produces a new color. I need to be careful. There are mixes that don't create new colors, but lose color instead. If the nectar loses its color, it loses its magic, becoming plain water. Colorless nectar doesn't wake up the Shroomtopians. It doesn't bring life back. I think the wooden wheel with the colors they gave can help me. I do love a color wheel. This is the color wheel. It will help from now on. We have 3 colors we'll call primary, and 3 colors that we call secondary. There are many possible mixtures. If you mix 2 primary colors, we get a secondary. Let's test. What happens if we mix red with yellow? Look, a beautiful orange. Now let's see what happens if we mix our orange with another secondary color. We get back to red. Secondary mixtures produce primary colors and vice versa. Here, things don't work like in my world, but I've noticed that I can use the same logic from there. Don't forget about non-magical water. It is the result of any mixture that does not follow the pattern I showed. Stay alert. Okay, so I assume mixing opposite colors, like the complementary colors, is going to give us non-magical water. Okay, so we want to do this to get this water to flow down. And then we want to do this to get this water to flow down. Okay, they were giving us an easy one for our first one. One more time. I'm checking the clock because yeah, this is a really cute game. It is very relaxing. There is a demo in the Steam store if you are so inclined. So that's interesting. I don't have to feed the final color of the nectar to the mushrooms. I just have to get the final color of nectar touching them. So I can do this. Okay. Oh, you're new. Bacillus remind me of purple basil, said one of the veteran explorers. That's why he gave them that name. I thought it was a bit simple. After all, these Shroomtopians seem peculiar to me, the way they look into the distance. It seems like they're philosophizing or pondering the great questions of the universe. So yeah, so that is combining colors. It's bringing me back to this level because I keep skipping it. Okay, yeah, that wasn't what I wanted to do, but hold on. I like the way that the mushrooms are very gently cascading around like snake. Okay, so let's... Yeah. Okay. So yeah, so we've essentially seen nearly all of the levels. There are 4 more to go. And each of those, it does appear to be our color. Oh, now here's an interesting one. They have solid colors and mixed colors. So that's going to be interesting, dealing with, we have to get a solid color to one, but a mixed color to the other. So yeah. Shroomtopia currently, there is a demo on Steam. You can also purchase it. It is out right now. It's been out since late October. And yeah, you can check it out. I believe, if I'm not wrong, and sometimes I am, I believe it was also a mobile game. It is also out for Switch. Let me go to their website. Yeah, so you can also download it on the App Store, Google Play. I see it's available for Nintendo Switch, App Store, Apple, PlayStation. So yeah, it's pretty much everywhere. If you want a little cute color matching, color flowing, color matching kind of game, might be up your alley. Nice.